I'm recording this so at least is record that if you can see the screenshots in the video, that there was always employees or customer support members at Twitter who were complicit to my stalking, harassment and bullying. Multiple people have made reports and complaints about this account, which is falsely, fraudulently, slanderously accused me of heinous, awful shit in an effort to try and harass and blackmail me to stop publishing actual real evidence, audio recordings, emails about the abuse that I've suffered. Multiple, so many complaints have been filed. Twitter can't say that they are not aware. I've written in, other people have written in. Employees at Twitter are directly involved in what has been happening to me. And it just should be noted for historical reference that this is what's been happening and this is what's been going on. And there is no deleting it or hiding it now. It's gone on for so long and been enabled by people working at Twitter that there's not really much I can do. I've reached the end of my patience with it. But this is just a historical marker to show what has been going on. Every single time this has been reported, Twitter have replied that it doesn't break policy, but it very clearly breaks policy. The account clearly states it is there to harass, coerce through lies and fraud me to stop publishing the audio evidence of perjury, of attempted murder, of abuse. So and the account accuses me of fraud, which is a lie. It fraudulently accuses me of paedophilia, of that an ex of mine raped me, that I never said that. It's never happened. This is a lie. It falsely and fraudulently accuses me of being a Nazi. Really vile harassment that is very clearly in breach of Twitter policy, but anytime it's reported, Twitter say it's not. So, and as I've previously had employees at Twitter make it very clear that they are involved in my harassment, this is just my last marker of that harassment. And it's very clearly who is involved with it, as that's been written up about and published elsewhere. So this is just a marker of the people that are complicit at Twitter, who enable people to be hounded to the very edge of oblivion. This is Twitter, and this is what constant, coercive, virulent harassment looks like. Again, enabled by Twitter staff. The bullying by root canon, as the format of the language in the account matches root canon's posts, And it also matches Helena Remeshushki, the English professor, cocaine dealer, and sex worker, who is also a tax criminal in America, as Helena Remeshushki does not pay tax for any of her criminal activities. You can see the account says that I say that ex raped me. That never happened. It talks about the sexual abuse I suffered by my female parent. Again, lying about it. Not that because it says it didn't happen. Ruth Cannon and Helena Remeshushki are so fucking incoherent that it says that I faked my attempted murder. But elsewhere you have Ruth Cannon saying that the attempted murder didn't happen. So for me to fake it, it had to have happened. So it's just like, once again, Ruth and Helene, aka Mistress Snow, they incoherently implicate themselves. It says that I'm defrauding people on the internet to buy drugs. It's a lie. Ruth Cannon provided me money to buy drugs when I couldn't get painkillers. So, and there's phone recordings of that, of Ruth Cannon basically giving me money to buy heroin. In the hopes that I would kill myself with it. I wasn't a regular user or anything, but I couldn't get spine medication. It was the closest thing. And Ruth Cannon gave me the money for that. It talks about my cat being stolen, lies about that. And as you can see, there's very clear screenshots there of them saying that they won't stop lying about me until I take down the evidence I've published about them. So, that's harassment, coercion. The account tries to get me swatted, so it's threats of violence, threats of attempted murder. And Helena Remeshushki, aka Mistress Snow, English professor in, previously CUNY and New York University, cocaine dealer, and a sex worker, of which there's nothing wrong being a sex worker, but, you should pay your taxes, which she doesn't do. Then, and Ruth Cannon. And it's very clear that it's linked to the two of them. Same linguistic patterning. They call me an anti-vaxxer, which is, I am vaccinated I think 5 times. It's a lie. It fraudulently calls me a fascist. It's a lie. And at the same time as lying about that I abuse women, it also because it contradicts itself in its lies, the account, it follows that up by saying that, if I don't stop publishing the evidence of abuse, that they'll keep lying. So you can just look at the screenshots, you'll get an idea of this is what it's like being bullied and harassed and abused into oblivion. And this is what Twitter staff are complicit in. So just look at the screenshots and the lies that and false accusations of being a paedophile are in this day and age very little more than attempting to get someone murdered. And the same with the attempts to bring the police in. That's what these people do. So, if you're out there, you're bored, you can always file an IRS complaint against the likes of Helena Rebushushki from New York University, aka Mr. Snow. Probably also Purachista Kapoor, who is complicit in all of this as a way to drive attention to a failing literary career. And then there's Ruth Cannon, who has been doing this to try and prevent me, block me, and harass me into not publishing the evidence of her attempted murder, of which Helena Rebushushki is complicit, colluded in, of me to prevent me from taking civil action against her. This is what they do. And obviously, Kevin Street and Irish Town Guards are complicit in this harassment as well. They've been made aware of it as part of evidence. And that's what Irish cops do. They murder when they destroy lives, when they try and when they get caught being negligent and in malpractice and torturing people and taking fraudulent cases. But the account, this harassment account, which has been endorsed and enabled by Twitter employees, because Twitter employees have been involved for quite some time, very clearly states that it's going to keep publishing fraud and lies in an effort to bully and coerce me into ceasing the publication of, or the whistleblowing of evidence of the abuse I've been suffering, and the attempted murder, and the violence, and the fraud, and the perjury. So let this just be a marker of what has been happening, and what Twitter employees have been doing. And it's worth noting that Helena Rebushushki's girlfriend who has worked at Twitter, has been complicit in this, and that she's how Helena Rebushushki, aka Mr. Snow, it's how she got her blue mark, and Anne was able to game the system at Twitter. And there's more there who are complicit, but this is what it looks like. This is criminals operating flagrantly in clear view, and it is a grueling experience. It grinds you away, but it doesn't really matter because no one cares. As long as it's very clear that it links back to Ruth Cannon, Helena Rebushushki, and Dr. Sarah T. Roberts, who is responsible for Helena Rebushushki somehow getting a shadowy grant endowment from a university, from a department that really seems to have no record of itself. And whoever else links in with Dr. Sarah T. Roberts. But there's some people there previously, as Twitter employees let me know they were harassing me back in 2019, 2020. And linked in with this as well is the deeply mentally malevolent Natasha Bedford. And, this is what constant, dogged harassment looks like. And it is harassment that is, again, very clearly enabled by Twitter employees who are involved and have been for quite some time. And you see, it follows the pattern of Ruth Cannon's harassment by, the constant misgendering, which is, again, against Twitter policy, obviously. Lying to say that I'm not disabled. I am. Like, my disability papers are online. Every facet of that would break Twitter policy for a normal person if Twitter employees were not involved is there on the account. You can see it, the misgendering, attacking disabled status. I'm in receipt of disability in two. I've been registered as disabled in 2 countries. The papers are online. They were published. I have a court judgment recognizing my non-binary status. It really is a hallmark of Ruth Cannon's abuse and harassment and stalking. The constant misgendering, because Ruth Cannon is a noted bigot and transphobe, and behind closed doors, so is Helena Remashewski. Probably that would be by extension Dr. Sarah T. Roberts. They try and lie about everything, and they punctuate the lies by constantly referencing the terms. So it is, they will keep lying and harassing me if I continue to whistleblow. The virulent lie about me being a paedophile, that is an incitement to violence and attempted manslaughter at best. In reality, it's attempted murder. I mean, it's only a few months since a terrible case in Finland where a man was slowly tortured to death in his prison cell. The Finnish prison guards are obviously complicit. He was slowly tortured to death over 2 or 3 days and then murdered in his prison cell. And the prison guards let it happen. The violence against accused paedophiles is well known. So to get on and use that lie to attempt to harass someone into not whistleblowing is very clearly an attempt to incite violence and murder against someone. And it's very also clear that Helena Remashewski has left a stylometric stamp on the posts, and then they also follow Ruth Cannon's form of harassment and stylometric abuse and slander and defamation. But again, to be really clear, Twitter employees like Dr. Sarah T. Roberts and others are complicit in this. With others like Vorachista Kapoor and Natasha Bedford. I'm sure there's others. I don't have my memory to remember everybody right now, but the records are there. But to be very, again, clear, this is what it looks like when Twitter employees are involved in trying to harass someone into oblivion. And this is collusion as well. And this is what it looks like. Watch the screenshots. And in the screenshots, you'll see me being dead named, which is another hallmarker of Ruth Cannon's stalking and harassment, which we all must remember very much picked up gear when it became clear that I had filed at Ruth Cannon's goading. I had filed civil criminal proceedings against Ruth Cannon, and Elena Remeshishki is named in those papers. So the dead naming, the misgendering, the attacking my disabled status. I'm aware this is a long video, but I'm exhausted by this. So, it is entirely exhausting, and it's very clearly harassment. They very clearly state that they're lying, but it's still hard to deal with, and especially when that DigitalOcean are complicit in it, and YouTube moderators as well. Possibly not to the same extent and to the same direct collusion that the Twitter employees are. But, I should finish this up now. There's a few things that I had to add in there with the dead naming. There's so much there that it's difficult to do it short. But yeah, again, bullied and harassed into oblivion in collusion with Twitter employees. And thanks for listening to these. And if you listen to the end of this, thanks. Sorry that it rambles a little bit, but you'll only know what it's like when you've had to deal with several years of this, and how utterly exhausting it is. And hoping for karma only gets you so far. So thanks for listening. I hope this serves as some sort of hobo mark for other people who are suffering the same level of abuse and harassment.